everybody, welcome back. Hope everybody's doing great. We're back again here with the Saturn 4 Ultra. Elegoo released an update, not sure when, but I just updated mine yesterday, and I see a new interesting feature that I wanted to talk to you guys about. So let's go ahead and get into the video. Alright guys, I have my Saturn 4 Ultra here. I have it plugged into power. Had to kind of finagle a little bit here to get it powered. But there's a new update that just released, or was released at some point, and I don't know if many people have actually updated their machines. I decided to be a crazy person and update mine before I looked at anywhere to see if there was any issues. So far, so good on my end. I can't speak for anybody else that has updated, but on my end, I've been printing fine. I've been recording video fine. Everything's been working great. So there is one thing I did want to talk to you guys about this update, which is the update is going to be, let me look because I forgot what it was. 1.2.7 is what I believe it was. Yeah, 1.2.7. That's the update that I'm referring to. And they added something interesting in the UI. So they added in something super fun in the settings, which is a new little icon. I'll do a close-up here so you guys can see what I'm talking about. It's actually called accessibility features, which wasn't there before. So if you click on it, you now have an option for toggling on and off sound and manual leveling, which I thought, that's wild. This thing is auto bed leveling according to Elegoo's website. It still shows it there as auto bed leveling, but there is a manual leveling feature built into the machine, which I wanted to take you guys through. Now that we've seen the up close, so the version 1.2.7, which is the newest version to me that I have on my machine, and that the new accessibility setting, which gives you the manual leveling option, which I thought was super interesting because, again, yeah, this machine is not, it's supposed to be auto bed leveling, but I think Elegoo finally was like, hey, a lot of people are having a lot of issues with things sticking to certain parts of the bed, and instead of just keep sending people G-code, they finally decided to actually fix the problem. Which we're actually going to go through the entire thing here together and see how it goes. I actually already did this, full disclosure, already did this just to test it and see the process. It's actually a relatively simple process to do. So I'll give you guys the short and sweet of it. It should be a relatively quick video, but let's go ahead and do this together. All right, guys, so we're going to go through this together. I'm going to be off to the side here of the camera, so I apologize if the audio is a little bit loud. I'm going to do my best to lower it during editing. So just a couple of things. Before you go into the manual leveling on the printer, you want to make sure you take the build plate off of this guy. It's going to go ahead and start, and it'll tell you once it starts to take it off, and then you have to cancel, go back in. So just to save you guys some time, take the build plate off and leave the little latch in the up position. You don't have to take the VAT off, but you can. It'll eventually tell you to take it off, and you just remove it. I took mine off already, but you don't have to. It'll tell you to when it's ready, when it's time for you to take it off. But preemptively, just go ahead and remove it. One other thing that you guys are going to need is going to be a sheet of paper, any paper. It can be any printer paper as long as it's regular paper. It's not cardboard or anything. And you want to cut it up into 4 little squares or 4 little rectangles. And you just want the rectangles to not be their original size. So once you get it into 4, what I did is I stacked them up all nicely, and then I cut the edges off, or the ends off by a little bit, just so the paper is like a little bit off. Reason being is you're actually going to take these pieces and put them underneath the 4 corners, right? And you don't want, right here, for those pieces to actually be too close in touch, right? So that's the only reason why. You also don't want them to be too close to each other here so they touch. You just want them to be placed out evenly. So let's go ahead and do this together. Shouldn't take us very long, so I'll speed it up here so you guys can see. So let's go ahead and get into it. So this is what I mean, right? So it's actually doing the motion here. I don't know if you guys can see that, But what it's telling you to do is to not have the build plate on and have the latch up while it does its little adjustments. While this does this, please, 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 guys, make sure your build plates are nice and clean. Make sure you take some isopropyl alcohol to them. You don't want any resin getting on your screen. It's going to get close enough to the point where it could get some resin on there, and then if it gets on there and you start printing things, it's going to cure on top of your screen, and then you're going to have to replace the screen or replace the screen protector if you have one on there. So just make sure this is nice and clean. Make sure your vat's also clean. It makes it easier to take it on and off as you're doing this. So I just went ahead before the video and cleaned everything off nicely. And now it's actually asking us to attach this guy. All right, and then with that attached, we can go ahead and hit next. All right, now it's going to ask us to remove the resin tray. Do you want to go ahead and remove that? All right, so now it's actually going to give you an idea of what I just said of how to place the pieces of paper on the LCD screen. So I want you to leave as little room as possible on the outside here, which is why you don't want these pieces to be too big, if you know what I mean, because then you run the risk of this not leveling properly. So I'm going to add those pieces there. All right, and then we're going to just go ahead and hit next once we have them arranged how we like them. Hit next, and it's going to go ahead and lower the plate. So this is what I mean by you want to make sure your build plate is nice and clean, because it's going to get real close to that screen and it could cause some issues if there's still resin on there. Also, guys, if this isn't a brand new printer and you've used this already, this is why you need these cards. If it's a brand new printer that you just got, you know, either after this update's been released or in the future, hopefully Elegoo does include some cards for you guys to be able to do this out of the box. And if it's new out of the box, you don't have to wear gloves because it hasn't touched resin. But if you've printed on this thing, please, 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 please make sure to put on some gloves and protect your skin. Even if it's as clean and as squeaky clean as possible, you just want to be safe and make sure that you don't get resin on your hands. All right, so now it's actually doing it's giving you a little graph down here at the bottom. It's showing the amount of pressure that the build plate is exerting on the screen. And what's going to happen is going to put enough pressure down where it's an even amount of pressure all the way around the screen that it's detecting. And at that point, the graph will actually level out a little bit. On another side note, please do this in an area where your printer is going to live. You don't want to do this like I am on a flimsy table and then put it where it's going to go and then expect it to be perfectly level. You want to just, you know, get your ducks in a row, put it where it's going to go, and then make sure that it's nice and level. I'm actually going to re-level this once it goes back into its tent, and it should be good to go thereafter. So just you know, use caution. All right, so now we want to see if we can move these cards, right? So they're nice and tight underneath. They're not moving. All corners, you want to check all corners. Same thing. Oh, this one's a little loose. It's a little loose, but it's, you know, other than that, it's pretty good. This one's also a little loose. So okay. Just want to make sure it's a little loose. This corner is a little bit looser than the others. This one's pretty good. This one is looser than the others. These two are pretty good. Those two are a little bit off. So let's hit next. And apparently that's it. It apparently doesn't give you an option to change it. So when I did this originally, the papers didn't move. They were nice. You know, there's pressure on all of them. It was nice. It was good. Right now I got the random feeling that they were moving. So it could be just the table. I'm going to put it back in where it's supposed to go and then do this process all over again anyways. And then hopefully it should be good to go. All right, guys. So that's pretty much the process. It's pretty fast, pretty simple, pretty straightforward. It'll it'll show you what to do. One thing that I did notice, and this is more of a thing for Elegoo to look into, is it doesn't give you an option to say that all 4 pieces of paper are even, and it doesn't give you an option to change that. So I don't know what the idea is here for somebody who might have a super uneven bed or uneven screen or something. They might just have to reach out to Elegoo support for that. Luckily, mine is okay. A couple of the pieces did slide out a little bit easier than others, but when I redid it, I did it a second time, actually back in where it's supposed to go, and it was perfectly fine. So it could just be that I'm trying to level it on a very flimsy surface, and it's not, it's not leveled correctly. One other important thing to note with that, the only other thing that changed in my situation is that I actually have my printer perfectly level. I put a level on top of it when I move it around, and I make sure that it's level, in both directions. So this way, make sure that it's level this way, and then that it is level front and back. That way, the resin it'll fill up as much as possible without it being going in one direction more than another, and then messing up a print. So that's the only other thing that changed for me. I still use the same pieces of paper. I went through the exact calibration again, and it just turned out a lot better. There was a more even pressure all around. If yours doesn't have even pressure all around in its final location, and you've leveled it, and you've done everything that you can to make sure that it is exactly how it's supposed to be, I would go ahead and just maybe reach out to Elegoo support. These machines aren't that old, so they shouldn't give you a hard time about either servicing it or giving you some way to fix it. Elegoo, if you happen to maybe possibly watch this video, there should be an option for there's not enough pressure on all 4 points, and you should have an option that tells the person can select which points don't have the correct amount of pressure, and a way of fixing that. Because currently it just says make sure that there's even pressure, and the only options that you have is cancel and next, and that's it. And for somebody who might have issues with their build plate, that's not going to solve anything. But again, it is, as they claim, self-leveling, so maybe that's something else that'll take into account, is that it'll apply just enough pressure all around to make sure that it is nice and level. With all of that being said, guys, this is just a quick little video. I want to say huge thanks to all of you guys. I know I say this all the time, but this time it's for real, guys. By the time I upload this video, it should have already happened, but I'm about to hit my 500 subscriber, which is huge to me. I like to celebrate I wish I could celebrate every single time one of you guys subscribe to me, but 500 people is a lot of people, in my opinion, and I want to say thank you to all of you guys for that. I want to keep making content. I love doing this stuff. It's a lot of fun, and I enjoy doing it, so I might as well, help some people out as I work through it myself. There's more videos to come, obviously, guys. Just, it's going to take me a little bit of time. But anyways, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you enjoyed the video, please do subscribe. Give me a thumbs up. Leave a comment. Tell me I suck or something down there. Anything really. How I can improve the video. A lot of you guys have left me some pretty good constructive criticism that I will be taking into account. I am a little bit on a budget. I'm a one-man team, so I apologize if you said, hey, your lighting sucks, fix it, and I haven't updated it, because everything that I buy for this channel is out of my own pocket. I get nothing from no one, so it might take some time. Yeah, I'm going to continue to make videos for you guys. I really do enjoy this. And Elegoo, what's up with that? It's a cool update. It's a neat feature, but it doesn't really do anything if you're already having issues with it. Just take a look at it, guys. Maybe there's a way that you guys can fix it or add more instructions on what to do in the event that there's no even pressure on all 4 cards. But until then, guys, leave a comment, like, subscribe, turn on those bell notifications down below. Follow me on all of the socials. I will do my best to get back to all of you guys in the comments and anywhere else you guys might reach out to me. And I will catch you guys in the next video. Bye, everybody. And when I feel like this, I'm immortal.